To be or not to be? That is the question being asked about the Tokyo Olympics. Originally scheduled for the 24th of July 2020, now rescheduled to the 23rd of July 2021 because of the Wuhan virus pandemic. If a report from British newspaper The Times is to be believed, the Tokyo Olympics will not happen anytime soon. The paper claims, and I'm quoting, the Japanese government has privately concluded that the Tokyo Olympics will have to be cancelled because of the Wuhan virus, and the focus is now on securing the games for the city in the next available year, 2032. Japan has rubbished this report. Tokyo says that it is determined to host the Olympics this summer.
We clearly deny that there is any truth in that.
Regarding the Tokyo Games, it will be a symbol of humanity overcoming the novel coronavirus and a chance to showcase Japan's reconstruction from the devastating northeastern earthquake and the tsunami to the world.
What about Japan's devastation from the pandemic? Japan declared emergency in the Tokyo area just around a fortnight ago. The emergency was then extended to 7 more areas. Wuhan virus cases are surging in this country. Japan has recorded more than 345,000 cases so far. More than 4,700 people have died. Experts say for Japan to be able to host the Olympics this year, it must first vaccinate its entire population. But do the Japanese even want to be inoculated? There's a large-scale vaccine mistrust in Japan. A recent survey found that only 48% of its respondents wanted to be vaccinated. Why? History has the answer to that question. In 1948, Japan lost many babies to faulty diphtheria vaccine. In 1989, some children developed aseptic meningitis after receiving MMR vaccines. In 1992, a Japanese court held the government liable for vaccine-related adverse reactions. 2 years later, in 1994, Japan scrapped mandatory inoculation. As we speak, Japan has not even started its Wuhan virus vaccination program. It needs to vaccinate 127 million people. How will Japan be able to do that in 6 months? There are deals in place with Pfizer, AstraZeneca and Moderna, and the government has kept aside $14 billion for this project. But what it also needs to budget for is time. Reports say Japan's vaccination program could start by February, and like most countries, Tokyo will vaccinate its frontline medical workers first. But what about the travel and hospitality sector? Over 11,000 athletes from nearly 200 countries may be flying in for these games. Organizers will take a call in February or March on whether spectators can attend. What about the organizers themselves? What about the volunteers? Shouldn't they too be inoculated as soon as possible? How else will these games be safe? These are difficult questions.
Unfortunately, I need to address unfounded rumour that the Tokyo Games will be cancelled. Rumours that only create more anxiety for the athletes in our sports. The Tokyo Games are on. The flame will be lit on the 23rd of July 2021.
The fact is, if the games do not happen, the IOC will have a hole in its pocket. The games have been planned at the cost of over $12 billion. So there's going to be a huge economic loss. But what about the risk to people's lives? A recent survey conducted by Kyodo News found that around 80% of Japanese people want the Olympics to be either cancelled or postponed. Tokyo 2020 CEO is relying on vaccination to change public opinion.
If coronavirus infections spread more and more, it is natural that people would be worried about it. But we hope the situation will definitely improve. And under such a situation, I think public opinion will improve as well.
The Tokyo Olympics is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Japan. But the Wuhan virus pandemic too is a once-in-a-lifetime crisis. And even if Japan chooses to cancel the games, since this is an evolving situation, even if it is forced to cancel the games, there mustn't be anything to be ashamed of. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.